Hi everybody, welcome back to Connoisseur Corner, part of the Feldy Network. I am Marty Feldman and we're in the kitchen again today. We're going to do a little bit of cooking, and one of my favorite things to cook is kind of a bit of an addiction probably is pasta. So I love to cook pasta. It's kind of the blank slate for all these different types of sauces and creative things you can do with it. So tonight we're going to be fairly traditional, but it's a little bit different than normal. So we're going to do a Bolognese sauce tonight. That Ragu de Bolognese. Ragu is essentially it's a meat-based sauce. Common Ragu alla Bolognese is the one that you hear about all the time. Probably you see at most of the restaurants. There's Ragu alla Neapolitana. Is another reasonably common one. Ragu alla Veneta is another one. Ragus they're very flexible. You can serve them with spaghetti. You can serve them with fettuccine. You can serve them with linguine, which is what I'm going to do tonight on this one that you're going to see. You can serve them with like a penne or an egg noodle. I mean, pretty much anything you want. Just there's no rules here. Just it's your kitchen. Cook it up. Do it right. Right, so the twist tonight, we're going to do essentially it's a white meat ragu. So Ragu de Carne, Bianche di Bologna. So is the Italian terminology for this one. And this ingredient list it's not a huge list. There's 3 different types of meats in this. Along with the other ingredients. So let me kind of walk you through the ingredient list here real quick. Essentially in the ingredients here we're going to start with 4 tablespoons of butter. Of course that's what you're going to do your sauteing in the pan. You're going to have a cup of minced shallots, fine dice shallots on those. For the meat, then we're going to have 1 pound of ground veal. I know a lot of folks have veal issues. If you're anti-veal, just look away at this point. So we've got a ½ pound of ground chicken, and then I like to go about 4 ounces of pancetta. Some people dial that back a little bit to maybe like 2 ounces, but 4 ounces seems to be the right fit for what I taste in that. Then you're going to have a cup of a dry white wine, and then 1 to 2 cups of chicken broth, essentially 1, but we can add more later. And then 3 cups of regular whole milk, not heavy cream or anything like that. And of course salt and white pepper to taste in this one. A few tablespoons of chopped minced parsley, and of course your pasta. You're doing a pound of pasta with this one. Again tonight I'm going to walk you through this with some linguine. Anyways, once you finish this, we're going to, of course, like any good pasta, you got to top it with cheese, for crying out loud. So this one we're gonna top with some Parmegiano-Reggiano on top of this, and oh man, this is good stuff. So that's your ingredient list. So let's head to the kitchen now, and let me kind of walk you through this one. Of course, use just a nice wide pan to do your preparation in here. That just gives you the best reduction properties, that type of thing. So essentially, first thing you're going to do, get that pan on the medium heat, get that butter in there, melt that up, get that little foam going, and then go ahead and add your shallots in there. And you're going to want to saute those for 5-ish minutes, kind of get those translucent, get them softened up a little bit. And when those are ready to go, then it's meat time. So add in the veal, add in the chicken, add in the pancetta. I'm going to break everything up, stir it around as you do, and probably 10-ish minutes, 15-ish minutes So once you got the meat kind of cooked through and ready to go, then at that point you're ready to do a deglaze, get that kind of those bits of love off the bottom of that pan. You're going to do that with that cup of white wine. So get that in there and do a nice little deglaze on that and let that wine reduce down. You don't want it to all cook away, but get about 2/3 reduced, 3/4 thereabouts. You still want some of that little wine wonderfulness in there. And once you get that wine reduced, at that point, let's add in that first cup of the chicken broth. Get a good stir going on that, get that simmer up. Now, and you're on back to medium heat at this point. Once you start adding in the wine, that type of thing. You got the broth in there, get that stirred for a few minutes. And then at this point, it's milk time. So get your 3 cups of milk, add that in there, and again, do a good stir. And at this point, go ahead and season it with your salt and your white pepper. And do your first seasoning. This isn't kind of your final. You always kind of do a little bit as you go. So get your first seasoning, incorporate everything. You can do a little quick taste if you want. And at this point, it's simmer time. So we're gonna cover that pot, that pan. Leave the lid just a little bit ajar so you can get a little bit of evaporation coming off there. Not too much, that's what the lid's on there for. We want to keep most of the liquid in there at this point. And get it to a good simmer. We're going to let it go for about 45, 50 minutes. You can go a little longer if you go an hour. Hey, that's fine, whatever. Stir it on occasion. Check up on it, make sure it's getting happy. And at that point, we're going to want to add in that chopped parsley in there and just kind of stir that in there. That's going to make that even a little more happy, getting the fresh parsley in there. And at this point, let's get that pasta going. So of course, you're going to want to cook that al dente. Once that pasta is done, go ahead and drain that. Then we're going to want to combine, of course, the pasta and the sauce. And at this point, hey, you're ready to plate. You're ready to eat. It's time to get your grub on. So bring your plates out. Do a nice little plating. Like to always scoop a little bit of the sauce in there. Make sure everything is nice and happy on that plate. Then the last thing you're going to do, of course, take the Parm Reg and do a nice little grate over that plate. Just a good kind of a sprinkling. Some people like to go crazy with the cheese. You're welcome to do that if you want. Just enough on there to let you know it's there and add kind of that cheese essence to the dish. It's, oh man, what a good thing. Man, I'm getting hungry just talking about this. So there essentially you have a finished product, your Ragu de Carne Bianche de Bologna. It's a dandy meal. This is pretty flexible with wine. You can, whatever you're in the mood for to drink. You want to drink a Pinot. You could do a nice Merlot with this. You could do a Cab with it. Cab's probably a little bit on the heavy side, since this is more of kind of a white sauce than a red beef-based ragu. You can do a Chardonnay. Again, whatever you want in this with a wine. Just kind of let your mood kind of direct you with this one. So you'll have a good pairing either way. So at that point, you are ready to go. A great meal. Thanks for joining tonight. Again, if you get a chance, hit that little subscription button down in the corner. We love to have you back every time we put up some information for you, whether it's cocktail recipes, food recipes, car information, any other thing from the Connoisseur Corner shelf that we talk about. Thanks again for joining. Cheers, buon appetito, enjoy.